AITA. Am I the a-hole? For not forgiving my 27 fiancé, 28, for missing the birth of our daughter? My husband's girl best friend, we'll call her Madison, has never liked me, for reasons I guess I will never know. Anyways, my fiancé, we'll call him Michael, and I were having a hangout with a little bit of the friends that we shared. It was nearing the end of the night and Madison was the only friend left when Madison came out crying with Michael looking angry. I was around 9 months pregnant at the time. The thing that really caught my attention is when Michael called me a raging bitch and a cront. Myself being a hormonal pregnant woman started crying at the name calling. I asked through my tears what was going on and he then proceeds to tell me about a text message I sent to Madison. In the message I told her to frock off and about how Michael and I would not allow her near our child. I will admit that I did send this, but it was taken completely out of context. I only sent this text after the many racist text messages that she sent me talking about my child and I am biracial. Instead of hearing me out, Michael kicked me out of the house that we shared. His name was on the lease. Without arguing I decided to leave, not wanting to start anything else. As I was walking out the door I felt a cramp in my lower abdomen. I thought nothing of this because I was not due for another 3 weeks. When I flinched from the pain, Michael told me to stop faking. On the way to my mom's house, I felt a gush of water and immediately turned the car around so that I would make it to the hospital. While driving, I took out my phone to call Michael, but my call was quickly declined. At this point I was in too much pain to call anyone else and arrived at the hospital. I pushed for 2 hours without an epidural and gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Grace Noel. Giving birth without my fiancé by my side was the final straw for me. I decided to do something and post all the hurtful messages Madison sent me on Facebook. Maybe 45 minutes to 1 hour later, Michael calls me asking me if we could talk. I inform him about my whereabouts and he shows up about 42 minutes later. He has tried to apologize multiple times, but I don't think I can forgive him. I went through the pain of pushing out an 8-pound baby by myself, all because he chose to believe his best friend without listening to his fiancée. AITA. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to forgive him? He not only missed the birth of your daughter, he called you grossly misogynistic names, believed his toxic friend and wouldn't even listen to you, kicked you out of the house 9 months pregnant, and when you showed signs of pain from going into labor as you packed to go, accused you of faking. That he didn't ask for an explanation of why you told Madison to frock off speaks volumes. He wouldn't take your calls as you rushed to the hospital, and you had to post his toxic friend's nasty messages on social media for him to realize what a jerk he was and talk to you. You should have refused the call. There are lots of things he's done that would warrant your decision not to forgive him, not just making you go through labor alone. NTA. Not the a-hole. NTA. Not the a-hole. You do mean ex-fiancé, right? Hopefully soon. Run. Take that baby and run. NTA. OMG. NTA. Not the a-hole. And his and Madison relationship sounds suspect AF. I would not be with someone who would talk to me that way and not even hear my side of the story. He made his choice and it's now your turn to make yours. I personally wouldn't forgive him, especially when he accused you of faking abdomen pain when you're frocking pregnant with his child. And he kicked you out on top of it? Absolutely not. You deserve better than that. NTA. WTF, kicking a 9-month pregnant woman out is bad enough, but the own father and fiancé doing it? Holy hell, you should re-evaluate the situation and think who you are marrying to. NTA, but you need to leave him. He chose her over you. The fact alone that he kicked you out of your home and told you to stop faking, while you were contracting, is enough to leave him. He will choose her time and time again over you, and I'm sure he will downplay her cruel messages to you. He's shown you his colors. You and your daughter do not deserve to be second place to that horribly racist woman. Auntie, you do realize they're having sex, right? It has come to my attention from many people in this comment section. Wow, you buried the lead a little here. So let me get this straight, your fiancé's best friend sent racist text messages to you about you and your unborn child. You told her to fuck off and that she couldn't come near your child? So, info, is there a reason you didn't tell your fiancé about this as soon as it happened but instead went ahead and hung out with this person? I don't think you're the a-hole at all. Your fiancé's friend is, and so is your fiancé for believing her without hearing your side of the story, but I am really confused as to how he heard her side of the story first because you hadn't told him what happened. It's his kid she's making racist remarks about too. Were you worried about how he'd react? Were you hoping he'd never find out? He's known her for most of his life, and although I know I should be told him what was going on, I just did not want to be the reason to take his best friend away from him. I will take some accountability for thinking that this would go away if I somewhat ignored her. Auntie. OMG. Girl, I am so proud of you for going through this alone. Kick him to the curb and find someone better down the line. His reaction was ridiculous, especially because he wouldn't hear you out first. I am legit so angry at him for this. You take care of yourself and your baby girl. Congratulations and don't feel sorry. Auntie. Why would you even be with him? WTF? I'm not completely sure. When I first met him he was helping me through a rough patch in life, so I guess I felt obligated. Auntie. You saying that you were only upset about him calling you a bitch and cront because you were hormonal tells us everything we need to know. Leave him. Auntie. Wow, I could never forgive him after that. Congrats on your new baby. Info. If you sent a friendship-ending text like that, why did you not show him those messages right away or refuse to meet her that night? This post doesn't really make sense to me. We were not really friends, never have been. It was just all of my anger vent up and without thinking I sent it to her. I did not show the messages to him because I did not want to be the reason their friendship ended. The way I think is if she was acting like this, then something must have been going on in her personal life, and she just had to take her anger out. Turns out she's just evil. Auntie and OMG, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I hope you and your daughter are doing well. Has your fiancé said or tried to do anything else? I've tried to get him to understand why I'm hurt but he just won't do it. I am leaving as fast as I can though. Auntie at all. I'd say GTFO. If he puts his friend's feelings before the woman carrying his child, that's a major red flag. Auntie. And there's a big possibility he will do it again or cheat. He put another female before his fiancée and unborn child, he's most likely cheating sis. You deserve better, reduce him to baby daddy status and protect yourself. You do not have to stay together just because of a baby. No one in your family sent him a text saying the baby is coming? This sounds fake. Michael was the only one I had time to call. I was in that much of a rush to get to the hospital. Not only that, but I was also in pain from the contractions. Anyone else notice she calls him her husband, then fiancé later? Info. You gave birth to your child and then immediately posted a bunch of text messages to Facebook? Is that really the timeline here? Not immediately, but while I was still in the hospital, yes. I will admit that it was very childlike of me. I apologize if it feels rushed. Auntie. Christ, OP, this is a horrible situation. It sounds like this woman is possibly sweet on your fiancé. or simply doesn't like you because she's a racist. Either way, you're not an a-hole for expressing your feelings about her to your fiancé, you're not an a-hole for expecting him to do his due diligence regarding her behavior towards you, and you are absolutely not an a-hole for not forgiving him missing the birth of his own child. That is entirely on him for not believing you and then for childishly rejecting your call when you tried to reach out to him. Honestly, he sounds like a tool and you could well be better off without him.